Jan, can you come see me? There's a thing. Can't get rid of you.
Something you wanted to discuss with me? I wanted to congratulate you. On what? Having a smart me on board. Seriously? Yeah, I flipped through some manuals while you were sitting on your hands. Looks like we had the base operating in minimum maintenance mode. Oh? Yeah. But I played around with functionality options and, hey presto, we got some new handy toys unlocked. Tools in the workshop and such. Wow. Oh, thanks. I can't wait to check them out. No problem. There's also some upgrades available in the building module. Sound like something you like to play around with too? Sweet. We could do with some improvements here. Sure, but don't start fantasizing too much. Remember, everything costs resources. So, wherever we are and however long we're staying, it might just be wise to see if we can set up a mining outpost instead of relying on shallow deposits. Just in case. Sound advice. I'll consider. Hey, I found this. I brought it on this mission, but thought that maybe it could mean something to you too. My lucky old multi-tool. No wonder you took it with you. This little baby never ever let me down. Yep, I thought it might come in handy. Of course, every man of the house should have one. It sure helped me feel like one when the time came. Thanks, man. This is why we stopped. A lava river. Plan B then, I guess. We'll need to figure out if there's a way around. Wonder how many more surprises this planet has in store. These loose rocks look like they might be passable. If only I had a tool to drill through them.
Rid of you.
About time. I'm in some deep shit here.
So you're not at your destination yet?
I'm stuck. We're stuck. There's a freaking lava river blocking our way.
Do you think you can cross it?
I'm on it. Just need a little time.
Right. Well, I got in touch because I have some news for you. Good news and, well, just news.
Hit me with the good news first.
A rescue party is being organized.
Organized. You mean they're not on their way yet? What the hell are you waiting for?
Mr. Dosky, please, calm down. No matter how long the procession, it will always end up in church.
What?
Just a thing my grandma used to say when I was a kid and tired of doing my homework.
Except this is not about your homework.
Sure. But you gotta understand, your mission got dispatched pretty far away. We still haven't mastered teleporting.
How long do you think it'll take them to get organized?
All I can say is, they know it's an emergency.
Wow. That long?
Don't shoot the messenger, man. I'm really trying to help.
So, what's the other news?
Well, I know you have a lot on your plate right now, but there's a request from my boss directly. Before we get you out of there, we want you to retrieve as much Rapidium as possible.
Oh, come on. Now? When I'm in the middle of this shit?
Yeah, I know. But the middle of this shit is the reason, Mr. Dosky. If it's true that there is a lot of it there, we just can't leave it to waste. With the sun coming and all.
I really don't know what to say to that.
It's sure gonna give your rescue mission wings, if that's your kind of incentive.
Of course.
My boss will want to speak to you shortly. And you'll see how important it is. He's not some kind of empty three-piece suit if that's what you're afraid of.
I probably shouldn't be telling you this, but it was his idea to, you know, let you in on the branching procedure. By the way, is your altar doing any better?
Nope. Hasn't gotten any easier.
Remember, you need to show him you care.
Is this about you wanting to talk to him again?
No. No, none of that. My boss put it out of my mind. That's not to mess things up even more.
So, you admit it's a mess.
What? No, we just... You know what? I'm not commenting on that. Talk to my boss about it.
What's gonna happen to my altars back on Earth?
I don't know. I'm sure my boss will think of something. He always knows what to do.
You either really trust him or you're very good at not saying anything.
Maybe both? I'm not a natural talker.
Ever tried working on it? You know, with a professional?
Not really. But my sister wanted to be a therapist and she practiced on me when I was 5.
Oh? And how did that go?
She turned to breeding hamsters. I hope you're not laughing.
Tell me more about this boss of yours. You mention him a lot.
He's the head of mining operations. Great mind, very open. You'll see. Doesn't normally do this, you know. Talk to people on space missions in person.
Oh, I feel so blessed.
You should. He saved your life, in a way.
Okay. I better get back to work then.
Yes. Just remember about the Rapidium, Mr. Dalsky. And wait for contact from my boss.
Hey, how are you feeling? Well, I'll be damned. You okay? Surprisingly okay. Especially considering what I'm seeing. Very clearly. Good. Do you, remember your name? Of course. But... I think you know perfectly well who I am. So let's not waste time. Just tell me, how much did you find? What? How much rupidium is there? Did we get a breakthrough? You bet. There's a lot of it. Good. That's good. Wait, how do you know? Well, isn't it obvious? I wake up seeing someone who looks and sounds like me, which has to mean we share the same DNA. Then there's the glasses. What about them? They're fake. Probably just manufactured to make me feel more like myself, but completely unnecessary otherwise, because here I am with perfectly good eyesight in the womb module, which can only lead to one conclusion: that my body was created to replicate someone who doesn't wear glasses. You. And to do that, of course, you would need to have found rupidium. Besides, I can see no other explanation for a sheep inside a space base. Correct me if I'm wrong. Wow, you're right. That's impressive. I did create you out of my DNA. We're not identical, of course. I can see you're not as quick to process information, and that's the interesting part. Yeah, our bodies are the same, but our minds are not. I needed a scientist on board, but there's always a scientist on board. So, what went wrong? The old crew is gone. They're all dead. That's why I needed to alter myself into different versions. With the use of the quantum computer on board and something called mind records. Oh, I see. A recalculated mind based on an infinite amount of variables to contain the desired consciousness in a biological vessel. That actually sounds plausible. So, what do you need from me now? Why don't you rest a little? Get accustomed to the new reality? Which part of what I just said makes you think I'm not ready to start immediately? Well, in that case, your situation must be critical considering the lengths you went to. Something tells me there's no time to lose. You're right. Why don't you start with going through the mission logs? I need to get the full picture first. My thoughts exactly. Good. This might work.
Hey, man. Can we talk?
I'm also young, obviously. This will never not be weird. Anyway, make yourself at home. Cheers. Whoa, you look tired, man. Everything okay? I don't know. Maybe it's got something to do with sleeping on the floor? Oh, I hadn't thought of that. Of course not. You have your cozy captain's bed. All right, no need to be so dramatic about it. I'll get you a proper dorm. Sounds like a promise. Awesome. Another movie. Jeez, I packed a lot of stuff.
rid of you.
Is it me, or does it sound a bit artificial? Hey, I built that dormitory you asked for. Hallelujah. I hope you sleep well tonight. I'll sleep like a full-fledged member of an advanced civilization. Sweet dreams, then. Hey, I found this. I brought it on this mission, but thought that maybe it could mean something to you too. My lava lamp? You kept it? Sure. It's one of a few cool keepsakes from our childhood. Yeah. Mom and I like to sit by it in the evening, talking and joking. It reminds me of that period when life was challenging, but also really fucking great. So, how are you? Settling in all right? Settling in is overrated. I analyze reality from wherever I am, however uncomfortable the angle. There's always an observation to be made. I'd love to hear what you managed to observe. This place is not run optimally. Yeah, I know. I wasn't trained to command a mission. But now that you're here, with your experience, I'd love to pick your brain. Do you think you could mentor me? Good thinking. First of all, you need to set long-term goals and draw up a roadmap for each of them. Remember to include all unpredictable variables in the equation. That way you can have contingency plans at the ready for each instance. All right, slow down. Prioritize resources. Do not waste time on idle conversations with the crew. Hide the booze. Don't be cheap on coffee. That slow enough for you? You mean idle conversations like the one we're having now? Like the one you're trying to turn this into? I'm not falling for it. Truth is, I really wish we could make use of the tech I worked on for all these imaginary years. It would make things so much easier if it existed. So what exactly was your research about? Nanotech in space exploration. We went from a humble startup to making headlines in a few months. Taking our solutions to the front line was my dream come true. The data we could bring back. You had big plans for it. Well, now it's all gone. Turning it over in your head won't get you anywhere. You should focus on the work you need to do here and now. I never thought I'd say it, but yes, you're right. Let's get Rapidian back to Earth, and maybe later, we'll see.
Evacuation functionality then. Collects massive amounts.
Man, I'm telling you, we need it.
And I'm telling you this is the least important of our priorities. You have got to be kidding me.
much for Plan B. Okay, I went beyond the rocks. It doesn't look good. The lava river is fast as hell. I'll be straight with you. There's no way around it. Holy shit. What now? I guess we need to get across somehow. Any ideas up your smart-ass sleeve? So now I'm smart, huh? Still, even I might not be enough. But a smarter version of us? Yeah, he could do a trick. The scientist. He could look for a solution in that research lab you built. Okay, let's give it a go. Hey man, you alright? Alright? Hell no. Feel like I'm fucking dying. Oh, shit. That's it then. I'm dead already. Relax. It's okay to be confused. Don't need to tell me that. You're on strong sedatives. This is one strange dream. Why don't we give you a mental checkup first, okay? Yeah. That's what they always say before they break the bad news to you. Shoot. What's your name? My name is Jan Dolsky, but I'm seeing fucking double. You should worry about that. We'll get there. Just fill me in on your role on this mission. Well, I used to be a miner, but then I lost my hand in an accident. Hey, wait a minute. What the fuck is this? My fucking arm. It's there again. Okay, I'm done with your little survey. Tell me what's going on. What have you done to my body? I fixed it for you. Who the hell are you? I'm Jan Dolsky. I got stranded on a desolate planet where I found rupidium, so I used it to make you my copy. What the fuck did you drug me with, man? Oh, this is insane. What a trip. It's not a trip. It's reality. Your new reality. Oh, yeah? Well, in that case, Mr. Dolsky, would you be kind enough to tell me why your body's so damn intact? Because if you really are who you claim to be, both of us should be short an arm. That's smart. We're not exact copies. We only share the same DNA. Our minds and memories are different. Okay. I knew it was a fucking mistake the moment I signed up for this goddamn mission. Oh, man. You want to know what's most cruel about what you did? Bringing you to life against your will? Keeping all that shit I went through in my head. Now that, my brother, is cruelty. Look, you obviously had a complicated life, so why don't we try to look ahead now? To what? To whatever this journey brings for us. Oh, no, thanks, man. I've had my share of surprises. In that case, why don't you just kick back and take some time to get used to your new self? Go through the mission logs. They should clear a lot of things up for you. Okay. I hope? Hello?
Jan Dolsky. Finally. I've been impatient to meet you.
Yeah, sure. You that big fish Lucas was mumbling about?
Terrence Maxwell. But yes, I am both his and your superior at mining operations. First of all, my heartfelt condolences. Losing the whole crew must have been hard on you.
Not really. Barely knew them.
Well, we are all grief-stricken down here. But also excited and proud of what you have achieved. I hope you grasp the significance of your discovery.
So, do people know I found rupidium?
We're keeping the news within a very limited circle. It's only wise for the time being.
Of course. Yeah. No reason to get everyone hyped up. Might still fail.
I can see you're a grown man, Jan. And you understand the stakes. I don't want to put pressure on you, but... failure is not an option.
That's why you had me create my alters? You'd rather let me lose my mind than lose the rupidium?
It was a long shot, I admit. But we were saving both. Rupidium and you, Jan. Do you think it was a mistake?
I have mixed feelings. Sure, it's better to be alive, but I feel like a line's been crossed.
You certainly have a chance to experience something extraordinary. Many people would envy you.
Let's just get one thing straight, Maxwell. I know you expect things of me, but I'm no hero.
Ah, heroism. Are you familiar with the works of Albert Camus?
Albert who?
A great writer and philosopher. Camus believed heroism was easy, accessible. For him, it was living a normal man's life that was a true challenge. Being decent. Doing the right thing. You are the first person to prove that we can actually excavate rupidium in quantities that can really make a difference. A dream the biggest corporations have been chasing for over a decade now, constantly failing. You say you're not a hero? Well, maybe I don't need you to be one. Maybe you should just carry on being a decent man, Jan Dolsky.
Well, that doesn't sound so bad. Thanks.
Of course, I would lie to you if I said your work is done. You've probably noticed how different rupidium looks in reality than on the training materials they showed you.
Why is that?
It changes form constantly. Its chemical structure is so volatile that it is almost impossible to capture two particles in the same state. A fleeting substance. Spectacular. But also very unstable.
How come it works then?
Not enough tests were run to explain that. The only sample ever found in space was researched inside a mobile base like your own, but it never made it back to Earth. It lasted long enough to demonstrate its amazing qualities, only to disintegrate somewhere between the Copernicus and the Hyades cluster.
So, you're afraid the rupidium I found might not withstand the journey?
I know it won't. That's why we came up with a special container for it. An ark.
You mean like a box?
A hermetic module dedicated specifically to storing and transporting rupidium. We have blueprints for it. Lucas should send the necessary data over to you by the time we finish talking. Constructing a rupidium ark should be your primary focus now.
Sounds like a big task. I should get to it straight away.
It is a big task, Jan, but it's worth every effort. I hope you realize the gravity of the moment.
I thought you said you didn't want to put pressure on me.
You're right. Lucas said you had questions. Is there anything you'd like to ask me?
The branching procedure. There's a story there. Tell me.
It is something that has been tested long ago within AllyCorp, but for completely different reasons and, as you can imagine, in a much more rudimentary fashion.
Altering mind records? For whom?
I'm sorry, Jan. It's highly classified and I already told you too much. I think you deserve answers, but regarding this matter, like I said, things were tested just for a while. Not much came of it. Now, I'd love to keep on chatting, but I really will need to be ending this call soon. Do you have any more questions?
What will happen to my alters when we get back?
I don't know. Yet. I don't need to tell you this is unprecedented. There are no good practices here, but I know one thing. You can trust me and Lucas completely. But if anyone else contacts you, it's absolutely vital you don't tell them anything about the existence of the alters.
What? Why?
You know very well why, Jan. The law has been violated.
I thought Lucas said the branching was authorized.
You haven't been listening. There are no procedures for this sort of situation. There is no one who can officially authorize such an act. At the end of the day, it was your decision to branch yourself. It will be in your best interest to keep that in mind when considering the consequences.
I don't like the sound of this.
We will come back to it later, I'm sure. Right now, I'll have to leave you shortly. Is there anything else?
Do you know what happened to my crew?
Lucas showed me the records. I have a theory, but it's more of a hunch. I don't have any hard proof to support it.
What is it?
Well, I think it might have been the quantum processing unit that killed them.
What? But that's... No, that's crazy.
Do you read detective stories, Jan? The culprit always needs to have two things. A motive and a means. Well, it certainly had a means to do it.
But why?
Like I said, it's just a hunch. I'm afraid I won't have much more time for now, Jan. Do you have any other questions?
No. I'm good.
Rupidium Arc, Jan. That's what you should focus on right now. Your secret is safe with me and Lucas. Once you come back with the remedy for Earth's ailments, nobody will think of punishing you for how you got it. Remember, just do the right thing. Now, I really have to go, but it was a pleasure talking to you, and we will talk more, I promise. Until then.
It's triggering the alert in my suit. I need to learn more about this thing. I found something peculiar on the planet. What exactly was peculiar about it? Everything. It was like a local distortion of reality. And it seemed to be emitting strong radiation. Yes. We could have expected to come across something like that sooner or later, according to reports from previous missions. Unidentified sources of radiation, unexplained electromagnetic field anomalies, distortions of matter, space, or even gravity. What are they? According to a bold theory fleshed out by Professor Frankov, they may be instances of the so-called interval. The what? Interval. In very simple terms, it's a non-coincidental superposition of potential universes. We don't know exactly why it occurs, but observations prove that under certain, not yet specified conditions, two or more parallel landscapes can coexist within a common quantum field, creating a so-called proximity plane. Yeah, it felt like something was materializing from out of nowhere right in front of my eyes. Let's keep our heads cool. It's just a theory. No one's ever proved it right. If
And I stress if Professor Frankov's intuition is right, then the distortion you have encountered could have been a puncture point, the spot where the proximity plane intersects with our observed universe, subverting its physical balance and distorting the rules of Newtonian mechanics. We need to learn more about these peculiarities. Inform me at once if you come across another one. Before you head up,
Hi there. You doing all right? I don't know. All right, I guess, but still trying to find sense in this plot twist. You're dealing with it really well. Great job. Huh. Long time since I heard those two words put together. But yeah, focusing on the work helps me keep my demons at bay. That's the spirit. Work is the best cure for all the problems. Don't hold back. Damn, I just hope I don't fuck everything up again. That would really be my luck. Always the useless loser. You're anything but useless. We really need your mining skills here. Wow, that's new. But is it really me you need? I mean, with this change, am I still the same person I was? Relax. You're still the same dude, but you have both arms now. You're healed. Doesn't feel that simple. Don't worry about it too much. No. I'll try. I can't wait to try those veggies out. What's up? Jan, there's an issue we need to discuss. Let's meet. Our own greenhouse, huh? So, did you find a solution to our problem?
Yes, it's super simple. We'll build a bridge.
Oh, just like that?
Well, it can't be a regular bridge, of course. We don't have the time nor the manpower to accomplish that. However, there is a certain technology that came to my mind, superconductive bridge anchors. They could allow us to quickly span a light but durable construction across our obstacle.
That doesn't sound super simple to me. Don't you worry your pretty head about it. Remember, you have me on board.
There is one small thing, though.
Oh, here we go.
Cut out the sarcasm. It's not my fault this excursion was prepared by a dilettante. Blueprints for the anchors should be standard equipage for every mission since Project Versant went live, but not on this one. They should fire the logistician, if there ever was one.
Versant?
Versatile synthetics program.
One of my undergraduate students went to work for them. Had some impressive achievements,
Including designing bridge anchors for heavy exploration equipment. You'd think it would be obvious, but no.
Stop moaning, will you? Just tell me what to do.
You're right. Let's act. You are in touch with mining operations, right?
Yeah, I am. Why?
Next time you talk to someone from mining ops, tell them to send over the anchor blueprints from Versant. Once we have them, things will go back to super simple. You'll see.
All right, will do. Got everything you need out there? Drills, pylon.
Evacuation functionality.